Live from the City of Angels, it's Sunday morning, breaking box office, and we had the fires out here in LA over the past several days. Obviously, we've been covering that here on MMT. We'll be back to that tonight. But as for the box office, was it affected by those fires here in LA, the number one movie-going region in the entire United States? Not really. When you look at the numbers here, have a look, and you can see what number one is. It is Den of Thieves 2 with 15.5 million. This is nearly identical to the first Den of Thieves back in 2018. That film opened at 15.2. So virtually the exact same result here as we have the sequel. Now, when you look at this film as a per screen average, right? We talk about how big a film is based on that number because that really tells the story. It's only about 5,000 per location, which is nowhere near what we see when we get to, let's just use like a Dune 2. I always like to use Dune 2 because it's a big but not necessarily massive opening. And you look at that at 20,000 per. So this is 1/4 of that. So it's early January, guys. I mean, that's just the reason why you have these films that come in and don't do insane numbers because you have so much going on. You know, take the fires out of it. You've got football playoffs going on, college. You've got all kinds of stuff in play as kids are back in school. And it's just not as big an emphasis going to the movies. That's why you see these films not come in as big. But either way, this is a win for Lionsgate, right? Lionsgate has not had a number one film since the last Hunger Games. And it's rare. They've had so many bombs and so many L's. Rare win for them. By the way, they picked this up from STX. Remember STX? Pretty much shuttered. They're gone. They were here in Burbank, and they're just history because they could never figure out how to release a good film. This is one of their only films that was successful for them, and Lionsgate says, we'll just take it. We'll take over and we'll go, and maybe we'll get another one. I mean, this film's very underwhelming. I mean, to put it as mildly as I can, I was bored out of my mind watching this film. So, not a recommend. The film I recommend this weekend is Better Man, which bombed. We'll talk about that in a minute. But let's get to number two. It's Mufasa. Quietly, this film has done over 500 million. Now, remember, we buried this thing over the Christmas corridor. We thought that it was dead. This is a weird thing. Okay, Disney's now had this happen multiple times with their films. Looks like there's nothing happening. Then all of a sudden, boom, here we go. We got a wildfire. We got Mufasa at 500 plus million. Start small, and then all of a sudden, here we are. Same thing happened with Avatar 2. Remember, not that impressive opening weekend. Christmas corridor starts to build, and then it ends up with 2 million worldwide, 2 billion. And that's really weird. Okay, that's all I'm going to say is this film looked like it was buried, and now it's at $539.7 million, which is only 188.8 domestic, which is still below. Okay, this is, remember, we talk about how do you frame this. This number of 188.8 is lower than the opening weekend alone of Lion King 2019. So, yeah, the international here is bringing up the number of 350.9 for that total of 539.7. So this is a weird film. Another Disney film that's doing strange things. Complete Unknown. Let's just get through the Disney here, and then we can go off to the other films that open this weekend and talk about that. Complete Unknown is now over $50 million. I thought the film would be bigger. I'm not saying this is a bomb. I thought we could be hitting closer to 100 at this point. It's a great film. One of my favorite films of the year. Top 10, no question, for us here at MMT. But it just didn't quite catch fire the way that I thought it would. And, you know, you look at this film at 50.9 million here stateside, has not opened overseas. They're going to hold it. Dylan is a different, right? It's not going to travel as well overseas. So they said, let's just build this thing up domestically before we even launch it over there. Chalamet, right? He's the headliner here. And it does draw into some question the ability for him to draw outside of a Wonka, outside of a Dune, outside of a known franchise. But it's not a bomb, right? I mean, 50 million's solid for a film like this. I just am a little bit surprised that we didn't get a bigger push box office wise over the Christmas corridor for this film. Disappointing. clearly, along with Better Man, which is a film that I finally watched yesterday, and I highly recommend you watch. We'll talk about that tonight. Our MMT evaluation of a Better Man, because that is a film you really need to prioritize because it'll be gone, and it's really worth seeing on a big screen. Okay, so that's your homework here today. If you're sitting around, you're bored, go see Better Man. Support that film. Moana 2 is almost at $1 billion. Okay. It's number 5 this weekend, but it is at very close to at 989.8 million, basically $1 billion. So that is going to be the third $1 billion release for Disney of 2024 because they count it because it opened in 2024, even though it's still making cash here. Obviously, it made most of its money in 2024. The only studio to release any $1 billion movies in 2024, Disney again with Moana 2, Inside Out 2, Deadpool, Wolverine. Huge year for them, along with the other films that were successful, such as Apes, along with Alien Romulus and others that did much better than a lot of people expected them to do. And you're looking at Moana 2 passing Despicable Me 4 to become the 4th Disney release all-time globally and 12th animated release all-time globally. Pretty good for Moana 2, a film that initially was, by all accounts, going to be headed to streaming. Well, that would have been dumb, right? You just put these things in theaters. Why not? I don't understand. I understand it costs money to promote those, to market those, but I would throw pretty much anything in theaters. You go back and you look at Predator, Prey, whatever it was called. What was the last one called? That should have been in theaters, right? That was a Hulu / Disney / Fox release, and they didn't put it in theaters, and that would have made money. So it's a really dumb thing to do not to put it in theaters. I don't know why. Some of these studios are not doing that. Let's go to 3. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is at $11 million. Let me pop up the email here from Universal. You can see it here at 11 million, third place this weekend, as it is now at a total of $384.8 million worldwide, 200 million plus stateside alone. And we're going to get a Sonic 4. I didn't see Sonic 3. I don't want to see it. I'm happy that the film is doing business for our theatrical chains, but I just don't want to watch these movies. You know, listen, if you went to see Sonic 3, it's really a shame that you wouldn't take a chance on Better Man because they're not even comparable. I haven't seen Sonic 3, but I can just promise you this. The artistry alone in Better Man, the big swing cinema, as I'm going to call it here tonight, that lands. That's what you need to support, right? I know it's easy like I did before. And listen, you guys know, listen, am I fair? Yes, 100%. Very objective. Do I get on films that maybe I haven't seen? And then when I see them, I change my mind? Of course. I was the one saying, why did you spend $25 million on a Robbie Williams biopic? Okay, because at the end of the day, here in the United States, no one knows who he is. They really don't. No one's he's not big over here. I know in the UK he is. So that's why this film didn't do well. Let's just go, since we're at Paramount, let's go down and look at the same email, and you can see how far down we have to go to finally get to Better Man. There it is. 1.05 million. That is $775 per location. Okay? I mean, it was dead in Burbank. Now, in fairness, Burbank opened over the Christmas corridor for us. This is wide now for you guys at 1,291 locations. It's not mega wide, but it's wide enough. Okay. 775, huge bomb. And I understand why. Okay. Like I said, with Robbie Williams, the whole monkey thing, all of that. I get it. But you need to take a chance on these films. Because when you do, and that's why, listen, a lot of the MMT audience was like, you got to see this. You must go see Better Man. And I'm glad I listened, because when I start to hear multiple people say, this is very good, this is great, not film Twitter. I don't trust film Twitter for shit. I'm talking about people, there's only a few that I listen to and I pay attention to. And a lot of them, frankly, are you guys, the MMT viewers. I go, wait a second. Okay, let me check this out. And then boom, here it is. And I'll tell you what, I pretty much teared up in this film. A lot of natural, true resonance, emotion in this film. I really like it. It would have been in our top 10. Okay. So I'm disappointed I didn't see it. I didn't prioritize it, but I'm here now to champion it as it's bombing. at 775 per location, which is obviously atrocious. Nosferatu is your number 4 film as we look at the international plus domestic worldwide $135.8 million worldwide. Okay. So that is $50 million plus international, domestic, $81 million plus here in the States. It is Robert Eggers' highest grossing film of all time, as it does now with the international, everything in, it takes over The Northman. So that is now in the books. I still believe, and I will continue to maintain, I don't think Robert Eggers is a bad filmmaker. I think that's no way. I don't believe that. Do I believe he's one of the most overrated directors in the space? Yes, because again, his films do not contain emotion. Okay. I'm telling you, Better Man versus Nosferatu. I know they're not the. I get that. Come on, guys. I get it's not the same genre. I get it's not the same aim of what they're trying. But for overall impact on a film, Better Man fucking stakes Nosferatu multiple times in the heart. Okay. And his mustached corpse is in the corner while the chimpanzee is pounding on its chest. This isn't a contest. Better Man is by far a stronger film on every single level, including cinematography. So just so you guys know, you're going to hear all the raves about Nosferatu. Better Man buries that shit. Buries Nosferatu. A boring, sterile, emotionless movie again from Robert Eggers, who does not understand emotion because he clearly doesn't have any. Okay. As a director, you have to be able to imbue emotion. If you are a sterile, boring ass person with very little emotion in you, okay, cold, you're not going to be able to put that in your film. Conversely, you look at Better Man and you can see a director who can do that, who has that in him. And when you watch, you feel it, okay? Yeah, it's not a contest. And by the way, we've never said a movie's better because it made more money. That has nothing to do with it. Tar Bomb, for God's sake. Tar's a masterpiece. We have never, ever said a movie's better or worse based on box office. It's a separate part of the story, right? So Better Man's a bomb, but it's a much better film than Nosferatu. So I don't even care about the numbers at that point. And let's go box office top 10. We have some other things that happened this weekend, so we got to get to that. And then I'm going to show you, let's just do A24 quickly on that because it is a biggie for the Brutalist 68 screen expansion. Now at 68 locations, and you're looking at 20,408 per location. That's really strong. Obviously, that is what you expect to see from a film that is going to win Best Picture. I called it when I saw it. I had a feeling. I had it there the whole time because it just feels like the right film. The Brutalist will win Best Picture. It should, because given the competition that's in the actual mix, I would put it there. Better Man should be in that Best Picture list. 100%. 100%. Oh my God. Better Man should be there before Nora. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? You're kidding. Tell me you're kidding. You're going to put a Nora in over Better Man? Unfucking real. This is the state of the world. Upside down clown world. When a Nora is a Best Picture and Best Man or Better Man is completely out. I'm just telling you, it's the most laughable thing I've ever heard. Anyone who's seen the two films, you'll just okay. And again, I understand they're not the same thing. Doesn't matter. As an achievement, Better Man dances on the grave of a Nora. Again, another win for Better Man. It's not, no, these aren't contests, guys. Not a contest. Not a fucking contest. Top 10 locations, top 10 films here. Let's do it. Number 1 is Den of Thieves 2, Pantera. Again, 5,100 per location. Not great, but it still is a win. I mean, it's fine. It's not a bomb, but it's not, again, that 20,000 per. 15.5. It's January. It's what you're going to get. Mufasa 2, 3, Sonic, 4, Nosferatu, 5, Moana, 6, Complete Unknown. We talked about all those. 7 is Wicked. Wicked is almost at $700 million worldwide. It's very close. It's going to get there like in tomorrow. It's going to be there in the next 24, 48 hours. So Wicked is number 7, now at 458 here stateside. Remember, if that international number was equal, we'd be closer to $1 billion now, but international is dragging behind very much. And then you look at Baby Girl at number 8, 21.7 million total on that film. Pretty good for A24. They'll take that. They've had a bad year this year. Clearly, 2024, awful year across the board for A24. Did not see Baby Girl. Maybe I'll get to it. I'm just glad I prioritized Better Man over Baby Girl. Very happy. Game Changer, new release at 1.9 million, only 2,300 per. Last Showgirl comes in 870 locations, only 1.5 million. 1,700 per. That's not good. Okay. 1,700 per. Better than Better Man at 775. But 1,762 is not great. And, it's a small film. I like it. I still recommend, if you were to ask me what film should you see here this weekend, you should go see, without question, Better Man. And it's not going to be on the big screen for beyond Thursday. It'll be gone from your local multiplex by Thursday. So you need to prioritize that right now. Make that your goal here on this Sunday. Tonight, as we come back here, we're going to go over the latest on the fires. The bad news is the winds are going to creep back up. And we're talking about Santa Ana winds again. That means we could be, as soon as tonight, looking at more devastation. We'll discuss that tonight, along with Better Man live MMT evaluation, in addition to a number of big stories I want to talk about in the film world. So we're going to balance the breaking news here in LA of the fires with the movies, because nobody is better at doing both. We are the most multifaceted channel in the history of YouTube. I'll see you tonight live from City of Angels. Peace out. Have a good day. Go see Better Man.